Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real WW Talk. I'm Candice.
Who goes next now?
You. No.
I'm Erin.
And I'm Rikki.
This is what happens, ladies, when we decide that we're going to do something different. As you see, we have Erin back with us. Welcome back, Erin. But usually, when we have Erin, she's leading us. So I said, I'm going to keep going with this whole leading thing. And so we didn't know what to do with the intro, but thanks for rolling with us.
I just like, since you guys have been doing it for the past 4 weeks, I'm just gonna sit back here and like work my way back in.
And my face is like, okay. I mean, do you want to press the button? So it was working out, but see, at least it wasn't me that didn't know when to say my name, because normally you had to switch roles.
Rikki and I both looked at each other like
I'm usually last. I don't know what you're doing.
Rikki's like, I know my place, okay? I know I say it last. But it's so great. I'm just so happy. It's been a while. Erin, welcome back.
I love
what
our
do you want to say? We missed you. It wasn't the same. We tried to hold it down. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to the other episodes, but
I did. I listened, and I just want to I want to say thank you, and I want everyone to know how deeply grateful and appreciative I am for you both for giving me the space and the ability to go plug in hard. I mean, I've been out of town for 3 of the last 4 weeks. And so it feels good to be back home and good to like finally kind of get back in the mix of home. But I really appreciate you both for, locking it down and keeping the wheels moving on this bus. So thank you.
Well, the good news is we had the whole episode we laugh about with rebooting. So people got to see you in the top right-hand corner of the picture. They knew you were still there in spirit. So we couldn't leave her alone completely. That's what it is. So.
And I was like, I'm so happy to see you. I miss you.
She was troubleshooting from CVS. Like, hold on 1 second. Can I just give me a second? So,
but you made it work. Thanks for coming through.
Which, by the way, so when I was at CVS, when you guys called me, I was buying toilet paper because I was out of toilet paper, and I made a rookie mistake. I don't even know what I did. I know what I did. I bought something on sale, which was stupid. And turns out it was half ply toilet paper.
Oh.
I'm telling you, that says 1 ply, it lies. It's not even 1 ply. It's half ply. And so I have 12 rolls of half ply toilet paper in case anybody needs it. I went this afternoon, I broke because I was like, okay, well, listen, you bought it. You just need to use it. There are people around the world who aren't even using toilet paper and making their way through life. You can do this. And then I broke this afternoon, and on my lunch break, I went down to my local Walmart and bought 2 ply. I was like, I don't care if it's got wood chips in it, but at least it's 2 ply. I'll take that.
Yeah. Hey,
important things in life.
Well, why don't we quickly I know you gave an update, Erin, on how you've been doing. We talked about the toilet paper, but Rikki, how have you been? How's life been?
Good. Things are still busy, winding down the end of the school year, preparing for summer because I'm going to be working part of the summer, and just getting back into routines. My bike seat came today. So I'm excited to put that on and get back on the bike. And the weather's been pretty good. There are a couple of days where it's so hot, I just didn't want to move. But, there's been some milder weather. I think this week it's supposed to be mild. So I'm excited to get outside a little bit more and doing well.
Yeah. Well, for people who don't know what she's talking about, I always like to give the disclaimer because not everybody's in the Peloton world, but they had to do a replacement of the bike seats because there was a recall. So Rikki had a pass. She didn't have to worry about why she had to say why she couldn't be on the bike because they literally were like, well,
don't get on the bike.
Don't get on the bike.
You never thought your, exercise bike company would tell you not to.
You're like, look, it's not me.
Yeah, but there's so many other ways to work out, especially, not trying to plug Peloton only, but there are so many other ways to work out even on their app. So it was an excuse, but not an excuse.
Yeah. And Erin, how do you feel you did on when you were on all the trips? How was it kind of?
Great. I've maintained. So the first 2 weeks I was in Israel, and I came back and I had lost 5 pounds because all we did was we walked everywhere. And I will tell you, Israel is one of the greatest places to travel for food because it's hummus, chicken, grilled vegetables. I mean, just all kinds of different vegetable salads. It's the kind of light and brightness that you need with your food to go along with the hot days. So like the early part of the trip, it was 100 degrees, full sun, like there's no shade pouring that we're doing. So that was its own special thing. But so like food wise, I mean, it was so easy. They made it so easy. And then I came home, had a little bit of rest, and then spent the week at the conference. And so within that time, because I wasn't walking, 15,000, 20,000 steps every day, it was like it kind of migrated back up, those 4 or 5 pounds. And that's okay because I stayed within my window. And you know how hard conferences can be to stay on plan, but I did. And so that was super helpful. I brought my things with me because, conference life, gluten, dairy isn't easy, but it made it work. I actually brought with me, instead of doing my vacation carrots this time, I brought grapes that I packed with me so I could eat those in the airport. And I bought a bag of clementines that I tucked in my suitcase. And so I was having those for snacks throughout the day, and they eliminated breakfast from the conference. So you were on your own for breakfast. And I have a friend who lives about 30 minutes away from the conference, and she knew I was coming, and she said, "Do you need me to bring you any special food?" And I was like, "Would you bring me some hard-boiled eggs?" So she brought me hard-boiled eggs that I could keep in my refrigerator. And so that's what I had for breakfast. I had hard-boiled eggs and like 2 clementines or some of the grapes. And by the way, I saw this trick on Instagram and I went, why have I never thought to do this before? First off, I don't know when grapes, which I've always associated as a toddler's snack, suddenly became grown-up bougie price. Okay. Like $6 for a pound of grapes is ridiculous. And, they package them in like 3 and 4 pound bags sometimes. And I went, I'm not spending $25 on grapes. I refuse. So I saw a trick that said, just go grab the fruit bag and go pull out a cluster that you want and put it in the bag. And then, when you get up to the checkout, boop, 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 put in the code for the grapes.
That's literally my childhood. I've gone to stores and been like, am I going to get in trouble? But I've done that.
Rikki, you have held on to this secret all of this time.
Did you do that growing up? Like, I would never take the whole thing. I'm like,
I thought I had to. I'm with Erin.
I had to.
No. Never.
What other secret do you have?
Well, it's one thing if it's a sealed thing of like, like tangerines, clementine, a lot of those come in a sealed bag, but the grapes are just open. So I get a plastic bag, take out what I want, put it in the plastic
Erin,
bag.
it's the other generation.
Never. Right?
Like 2 years
These kids,
the youngins have come up with that.
Kids these
but
days.
That's something my mom would do. Like it's not like I learned that, like I taught myself that. Like
never heard of it.
Nope.
I almost want to scream to my husband and ask him because I feel like I never heard of that.
Everybody needs to comment right now.
Yes.
Because we need to know this. And cherries. I learned that with cherries too, because I spent almost $30 on cherries last year. I got suckered into that. And I was like, holy moly, I don't have a cherry budget. We need to redo this.
But so the thing is, when the designer grapes came out, I'm pretty sure there was one time where and like, grocery, please don't come for me. But like, I would take some out of the bag because the bag was cute. And it was like, like champagne grape, whatever those fancy grapes were. So I'd take some out and put them in another bag and then take that bag with the cute little design on it. And it's half a pound maybe, and go on my business check. I'm paying for what's in the bag.
I just never, I'm mind blown.
Now, I didn't take grapes out and put them in another bag. I used like one of the actual produce bags.
Yes, that's what I typically would do. But if I want to keep the bag.
What other secrets do you have, Rikki? We'll wait.
Yeah. That's what we're going to talk about today. I want to know all the secrets supermarket secrets.
No, I just learned microwave grapes. I learned that.
But what?
Not because I tried it, but because we had a food safety thing for our kids, who were learning to cook. And we read this little story and it was like, don't microwave, like food safety, don't microwave grapes. They explode. And so do hard-boiled eggs. Not that you would ever want to heat either of those things.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what would be a scenario where I would even try it?
None. But this is a useful fact that no one asked for.
Okay.
Because you put me on the spot.
But you can roast grapes. If you put them in a dish and you roast the grapes, it intensifies the sweetness. And then you drizzle like the juice and the roasted grapes over top of ice cream or ricotta. And a little bit of honey. There's Candice's face. I see the face with a little bit of mint.
A little bit of mint. Well, I was waiting to hear because when you brought up the grapes, my mind immediately went to how is she going to make these vacation grapes? Does she cut them into like little circles? I mean, they're already circles, but does she put like shapes on it But now I know you just roast them. Do you roast them?
I just put them in a container, and that was mind blowing for my dad. He's like, you can't take that through security. I was like, Dad, I take carrots through security. I'm going to be fine with grapes.
But now I need you to roast them before you go so that they can be vacation grapes.
Well, I'm not going to roast them before I go.
Why?
Because I don't have ice cream.
And then put them in a little container.
So what do roasted grapes taste like? Are they sweeter? Like what?
Yeah. Would it be like roasted pineapple?
Oh, yum. Now that's amazing. Yeah. Roasted pineapple, like, have you guys like summertime grilled pineapple? Like it gets sweet and buttery.
I never really had a grill. Like I didn't grow up with a grill. So
who's going to have that at their home for us for their welcome back dinner? We're going to have some grilled pineapple. That would be so exciting. I mean, I've heard of it. I have heard of it, but I just have never tried it.
Guys,
have you ever had pineapple on pizza?
Have you ever done like the watermelon and feta and mint? Have you ever done that as a salad?
It's balsamic.
Yes.
No, that sounds good though.
A local restaurant, Seasons 52. I don't know how. I know they're in like the tri-state area, DC, Maryland, Virginia. Has like that on their summer menu. It's delicious.
I could see how that could be good. Now I'll say that, because I'm all about feta, and watermelon has like the juicy. Kind of thing. Well, what else are you looking forward to that you do like unique with food during the summer? Because like this, I kind of like where this conversation's going. Like it started with grapes and Rikki blowing our mind about but I'm just thinking about honestly, because okay, we're going into like the grilling season and like everyone's outside and trying to figure out what to do with fruits and vegetables. And I'm just, wondering if there's any other tips or tricks that maybe we can share, because I have been in a strawberry mood. As you all know, I went to a strawberry. I went and first thing I did was look for recipes, but I also sent Erin a text because Erin knows how to figure out how to do whatever with fruit. So I said, what can I make with these strawberries? And she sent me over a recipe. I don't remember what it was.
Well, my first recipe was cap them and put them in your face, because that's what I do. I'm like, that's my recipe.
That was immediate. But you know what I ended up making is I made a lemon strawberry muffin that was from scratch, and used almond flour instead of the regular flour. It was fantastic.
Wow.
And 3 points for Weight Watchers.
With almond flour.
Made 12. Oh my gosh. Like this thing. And I'm going to post it. But I was looking for you when you have all these strawberries, you don't want them to go bad. No. And they can go bad pretty quickly. And I haven't learned the trick on how to keep them, make them last longer. Because isn't there a certain way you're supposed to store them?
Well, I've always, if I'm doing fresh strawberries from a farm type of thing, and I'll even do them with the grocery store strawberries, you put them in a big bowl, cover them with water, put like a half a cup of apple cider vinegar inside or white vinegar, and just let them sit for 10 or 15 minutes. That helps kill any mold spores that are in there. Pull them out, dry them, get them dried. Don't leave any wet on there. And then just put them in a bowl, uncovered in the fridge in your fruit drawer, and they should last like a week, 2 weeks, surprisingly.
And I think we did something similar and it kind of worked, but I've seen like people talk about containers, like special, these influencers, they're like,
I know
these gold containers.
I feel like they're trying to get you to buy things that you don't necessarily need. But one thing that I've kind of learned more about is cleaning fruit, because I think growing up, it was just kind of like you rinse it with water and you're good to go. I haven't been in the apple cider vinegar or like, baking soda to clean things but that's something that it seems like there's a lot more education out about now, and especially videos of people showing what the water looks like after they clean the strawberries with like I tried it with baking soda the other day. And it's effective. It's very effective. And we grew up eating these things being just rinsed off and turned out fine, but it's nice to know that what you're eating is thoroughly clean. So I've been doing that with the apple cider vinegar. And now that's like a household staple that I did for, so many other things too, just regular cleaning as well. But that's something that I've been doing more of than just a rinse or a soak in regular water.
Do you guys pay attention to like the dirty dozen and the clean 15 list? Because strawberries are usually, I think they're on the dirty dozen.
Who I'm married
to. List of like the dirtiest foods.
Yes, and ones that really should be like organic because of the way that they can hold the pesticides and different things. Like potatoes are on there. Like I said, it's my husband's obsession. So I feel like anytime I go somewhere, I'm like, wait a second, let me look in your eyes and see if it's okay for it to be. I think I'll never forget. I think Erin was sick one time. we went to go buy. She was like, well, you don't have to get me anything, but if you want to, maybe get me some lettuce or something, because I'm going to make like a smoothie. And I was just trying to be, a good friend. I just picked this up and David freaked out. He was like, oh, no.
It was the romaine. It was romaine lettuce.
It must be organic. You cannot give that to her if she's sick. You're going to make her sicker. I was like, oh, okay. So I went and, it's a serious thing, the things that you find. But I think it's good to know, because there really is some proof that they've had that certain fruits and vegetables, it really is better. Not everybody's going to be organic with everything. I know the prices are completely different and it might not be necessary. But that leads me to, are you all ones who go to farmers markets or go to places to the farm and pick things? And like, what other than strawberry or apples have you done? Because Erin, I think you've shared where I've picked cabbage. Like I did that. That was so amazing. Like to know, because it's one thing when you see it in the store, but then to see all of these cabbages in the field and you have this this axe and you're chopping it down. And it's like, I'm going to eat this cabbage because I picked it.
Did it.
And this is going to be, you feel like you have to do it. So.
I have not been cabbage picking. I just said cabbage patch picking. I was going to say that because I'm thinking of my Cabbage Patch doll. I've only done apples and strawberries, but blueberries is definitely, that's on my list.
Okay. Someone mentioned that, but are they on a tree?
Well, they're on like little bushes.
Like the strawberries, right?
Okay, right. Yeah.
Type of.
Okay. Yeah. And see, we had blackberry bushes in our backyard. My grandmother had blackberry bushes. And so most of the things I grew up, and my brother has them now at his house. So he's like, if you want to come over and pick some, I'm like, yes. I love it. I don't know. There's something about doing that just feels so like, I don't know, earthy and organic.
My son loves blackberries. Like I need an invite for that, because that sounds, I used to do that in the honeysuckle, which is not a fruit or vegetable.
I was thinking about those.
Get the little drop.
The kids even know? I don't think they do.
The generation know about honeysuckle.
My niece and my nephew, because my brother taught it to them, they went on their little walk and they were in the state park. And I only know because my niece told me, she said, hey, yesterday was actually 5 days ago. We did honeytuckle. And I was like, honeytuckle. Okay. More about this honeytuckle. We drank honeytuckle.
My only concern now is you never know where they've sprayed. So that's the one thing that I used to be very adventurous, I guess, as a child. I was just going for it anywhere at lunchtime at the school. That's all we did.
Yes. Yes.
And get rid of the potato bugs. Do you all call them potato bugs or roly-polies?
Potato bugs.
Okay, good. We're good. Rikki, you don't even know what we're talking about, right? You know the
Rikki
little bug
ran
when
to
you
the
cut
other
I
side.
want to say roly-polies, but I don't know that I'm talking about the same thing.
It's the bug that you
I
touch
was the
and it
one
rolls
that I
up.
saw a bug and I ran. You know, like I'm not sticking around to name it.
I don't know. Somehow I have the same memory with honeysuckle that I do with these potato bugs. I don't know why. Like maybe it was around that.
Well, it could be because they were all out at the same time,
Yeah.
you know, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. But so you do blueberry. So that was another thing because we're getting into the season now for what's next. So strawberries are now
Plums, like plums and apricots, like we're now moving into that season. So my local farmers market over in Catonsville, I forget the name of the farm, but they show up with boxes of all different varieties of plums, and I love them. Look at your face.
But I'm saying other than just eating them straight out, what's your favorite thing to do with them? Or is it just you just eat them?
I just eat them straight out unless I've bought too many of them. And if I've bought too many of them, I will do one of two things. If they've gotten very, very ripe, I'll pull the pit out from them and I'll put them in my Vitamix. And I will add sugar and some water to it. And I will make a plum sorbet. And I'll add a little bit of clove, which makes it taste like Williamsburg. That's the only way that I can explain it.
That sounds appropriate.
Right? Because you got the clove, you got those like kind of warming spices. And then, or I will roast the plums and put them over. In the old days, it would have been ricotta, but over like a non-dairy milk, yogurt or something like that with some honey.
Okay.
Is really delightful.
You know what I've been doing? That's just, it's my way to deal with fruit that's about to go bad. If I don't put it in a smoothie, that's usually my quickest thing to do is I'm like, let's just figure out what fruit smoothie this is going to be today. But I like to make ice cubes out of it as a way to make a flavored water.
I like that.
So you
That's a
take
great
it and you
idea.
blend it, and then you pour it into ice, the tray. And then when you are serving people water, you put it in there and they think you're fancy. You're like, would you like a strawberry ice or lemon ice? Or
I love that.
Do you know what's awesome? Like watermelon, like, sometimes you get a watermelon and you're like, there's no way I can consume all of this before it goes bad. I will cut it up and I will freeze it, but then I will pull chunks of the watermelon out and put it in my water. And so it's like, it becomes like a watermelon infused water. And then it's an ice cube at the same time. And then sometimes I'll do, depending on what's happening in the summer, coconut water. So you get like the electrolytes from it.
That's great.
I know people who
Really
put stuff into watermelons, though. That's not necessarily water, like alcohol.
Yes.
To make it. I mean, but I'm sure you could put other stuff. So.
Well, I've seen people do ginger and lemon into ice cubes so that when they're just, some people like to drink hot water in the morning and they'll put that like into the hot water and then it kind of infuses with the flavors, but also is supposed to be good for your digestion. I've seen that. And then the other thing that's not necessarily seasonal, but could be seasonal that I've been getting into is chia seed pudding and making it at home. And the texture is something that I feel like it's not something I want to just eat fast, like it's like you have to eat it slowly.
Let's describe Erin's face.
Made you chia seed pudding before and you rejected it because you're like, the texture, I don't like the texture.
I don't think so.
I think she's thinking of what she gave us when we had that meeting. What did you? It wasn't chia seed.
It wasn't. No,
you
it was
gave
something
us
else.
A cookie dough that was made out of
I feel like
hemp seed.
No,
I feel like I would.
You and I have known each other for a fair minute, ma'am. And this could even predate Candice. People are allowed to grow and they're allowed to change, but I'm very glad to hear that you're enjoying. Have you tried blending the chia seed pudding? Because it makes it almost like it actually makes it like pudding.
So I am all about, if I have to get my blender out, it's probably not going to happen. Like I love my Vitamix. It's 10 years old and it's still going strong. But lately I've been all about like mix, put it in the fridge and go. So I will try it someday. I will. But I think I like the convenience of the chia seed pudding and the versatility because I've been putting a little bit PB2 in it, a little bit of bananas. And then I found a recipe where I'm using Chobani zero sugar, a couple tablespoons of that with almond milk, mixing the chia seeds, PB2, about a teaspoon or so, and then mixing it together, put it in the fridge overnight, and it's ready for the morning. It's a decent volume. And then also it's very filling, high in protein. And I've added a couple chocolate chips to it and then bananas, but you could do strawberries. You could add chocolate powder. It's so versatile, and I really am enjoying that.
Well, it's interesting you said that because I did chia, right? Remember, when I got the strawberries, I went with some friends and we were like, what are we going to do with all these strawberries other than just eat them? She had sent me a recipe for a strawberry and lemon chia jam, which is basically just 2 cups of strawberries, fresh or frozen, 4 tablespoons of chia seeds, and 1/4 of a lemon. And you put it on the stove, and that's it. So I have it in the refrigerator. I haven't used it. I don't know what I'm going to use it on. It looks pretty.
How about the strawberry muffins that you made?
Those are gone. Those are annihilated. I mean, I guess I need to make more, but I'd actually have to buy the strawberries now because we've used them all. But between David, Isaiah, and myself, they didn't stand a chance. Yeah, used all my weeklies on those.
I love it. And by the way, like those chia seeds are the same chia seeds that you make chia pets out of. So you could
stop going so fast. Say. Help me understand what you mean.
So chia pets,
like chia.
Yeah, chia pets it's really just a pet without the chia seeds. So those chia seeds, if you make the gel, you make the chia seed gel and spread it on something, it'll grow into the chia sprouts. So in the past, we were, like when we were kids, we were like chia. We just thought it was super fun, but we didn't know that we were eating chia.
I didn't think people were eating it.
You could eat their chia sprouts. Their sprouts, like you can spend a ton of money for those green sprouts over in health food stores.
This is by far the best episode we've ever done. Look at how good things come just from sharing. Because like mind completely blown.
Listen, don't tell David. David will have trays out there making his own chia sprouts.
He probably already knows. He's probably like, what do you mean? Of course. I just thought that you knew that.
I always wanted a chia pet, and I never got one. I
literally thought it was just a pet, like a fun, and it was a song, and that was it.
It's clay.
Stuff would grow out of it.
Yeah, and do you remember Duck Dynasty when that was like such a big deal? Mm-hmm. So somebody got me a Duck Dynasty, one of the guys from Duck Dynasty, but the chia, so it's clay. And then you just spread the stuff on his face to make a chia beard. Yeah. And so he had and I realized as I'm looking at this, because at this point now I'm firmly in the health movement, right? And I'm looking at these chia seeds and I'm like, this whole time I could have been making my own chia pets this whole time.
So what you're recommending is that I take my strawberry chia lemon jam and smear it all over a chia pet and grow.
Well, no, it won't grow that way. But if I were you, I would just smear it all over my face and eat it. That's me personally.
That works too. Well, ladies, look, I'm so happy that Erin found out that you could take grapes out of its original packaging and put it into a grocery safe bag and not buy more than you need.
And I'm glad Rikki mocked me because she's been doing it forever and kept it a secret.
I mean, unless my mom was the originator of this.
Your mom is the real MVP. But if you ever want to hear more things random tips that you didn't know you needed, this is why you listen to Real WW Talk. So we are so happy that you joined us today. Make sure you follow us on all the different platforms. We made it very, very easy for us. You can find us on Instagram, Real WW Talk, our Facebook page. We're now over 6,500 followers on Facebook. It's a very active community. We'd love for you to join us over there. We post regularly. We post tips. We're going to do this poll to see if we were the only ones who knew about these grapes. So go over there and weigh in. You can also find us on Connect. You'll see all of that in our show notes. We're on there sporadically, but we're getting better. But it's just great to talk to you all, and we'll see you next week. Bye.